The smoothers.
Pivot is 3 minutes and 15 seconds.
Okay.
3 minutes. Yeah. Do you ever use the stiffeners?
No, I haven't yet. I thought about it. I thought about making a pair with those in there. Yeah, I know.
You just do the outside?
I guess so. I don't know.
What do you even do? Like, how do you even put them in? I've never done it.
I don't. You're gonna be the guinea pig for us because I've never done it and I've never seen anybody else do it.
And you guys will
Why do I always have to be the guinea pig?
You're the guinea pig. I mounted up. I'm actually just mounting up sets to break them in for INS. Really.
Yeah.
Got a set of 4-wheel drive. Emerson's got a brand new set on his car that he ran Saturday. I've got a new set on my car that I ended up running Saturday, and then I mounted up another new set. Except that I didn't have any more silver front, so I gotta grind away some ellipses for the front.
Oh.
Do you think running smoothies and grinded fronts is a bad idea? Should I just make grinded rears?
I have no idea.
You think it'll matter?
Oh, no. Well, maybe. I don't know. Honestly, I don't. It just depends. Like, you'd want to grind them to the point where there's still a little tread showing. The problem is that the smoothies are so much a little stiffer or a little thicker.
Yeah.
Than grinded ones. So you might have a bad time. I don't know.
You might have a bad time.
I'm thinking you just stick her inside out like that, glue, and then stick her right side out, and then that's your outside. Maybe. I don't know. Do you glue the whole thing there to it?
I think you would have to, right?
I don't know. Does it do anything just being in there? Do you have to glue it?
I don't know. Jackson says Spencer Rivkin made a video on how to use those.
What did he say?
I don't know. I haven't watched the video.
Well, Jackson comment.
Yeah.
Don't
Don't just say watch the video while we're making our own video.
Yeah, I can't just break away.
Here, I'll be right back. I'll be back in 5 minutes.
Okay.
How's it going?
Oh, fine, thanks.
Did you get best in class then? Is that right?
Yeah, I won. Well, yeah, I won the car show and foreign motorcycle.
Nice.
So
that's awesome. Did you win any money, or is it just a little plaque?
No.
Oh.
Just another dust collector.
Oh, well, that's okay.
Another trophy. I shaved this mustache, though.
Yeah.
I wasn't the only one there with one.
Yeah, everybody was commenting on the porn stash.
There's a lot of dudes there with these, a lot of old guys. I fit right in. They're like, this guy is cool. This guy knows what's up.
Yeah.
I had a cool mustache.
I can't do the mustache thing.
Why?
2 reasons. A, my dad has a mustache, and
look at how long and heavy this thing is. I'd probably lose a pound shaving this big old thing.
That's a lot of hair.
Yeah.
My dad has a mustache, and if I grew a mustache and I shaved this off, I would legitimately look like my dad, which isn't a big deal. I mean, that wouldn't be necessarily a bad thing. It's just that I just never have had this grown out. But when it does, if I haven't shaved in a few days, if I've just been too busy or just whatever, my stash hair is so hard that it pokes me and it hurts. So I just can't do it.
Mine does that for a little while, and you gotta get through it.
It like curves in on the corners of my mouth and like stabs it in my mouth, and it's just like, I've been at races before where I haven't shaved for a few days just because I've been so busy or just haven't felt like it or didn't actually bring any shaving equipment. And I've actually had I was at this is a funny story real quick. At the 2011 Nats, 2010 Nats, whatever it was in Colorado Springs, my dad and I took the trip together. If you listen to the Patreon interview with my dad, or since it's out there now on podcast land for free now again, we went to that race together as like a father-son bonding thing. I actually had him take a pair of pliers and like pull all of my little curly, crappy mustache hairs that were poking me out with a pair of pliers, like in front of everybody as he's sitting there. It was the funniest thing ever.
It's hilarious.
Yeah, it was hilarious. I thought it was funny. Maybe that's why I was never really taken seriously.
Yeah, maybe.
My dad.
You're like, hi, I'm Alex, and welcome to Jackass.
Yeah.
Well, while we've been talking about the factory team multi-tool shock trap pliers, I got a
You
set.
got them? Yeah.
Yeah, I ordered a set.
Nice.
Let's take them out here. Let's check the finish fit on these. See how they fit the hand and whatnot.
We got them in stock. I think they were included in the What's New Wednesday I did last week.
Ooh, these are nice.
Yeah.
They fit the palm well.
They're way better than the old ones. The old ones were way too small.
Well, they didn't have this thing.
Well, then, yeah, I know, but they were also very small.
Yeah, and I think you can hold a shock right there, and yeah, and give the cap a nice crank on there, and yeah, these things look nice.
Yeah,
I'd have these either way. It's got a spot there to. I don't know what those holes are for. I think it probably tells you everything has like a purpose. I'm sure.
Oh yeah. You want to see something cool?
Sure. Why?
All right, I got this today. This showed up at my doorstep today. I actually got 2 of these. Emerson got one, and I got one. I made Emerson give me $50.
Oh, I know what it is.
Check it out.
Nice.
An RC18B. Got 2 of them. Got some upgrades. Got some 3 racing shocks. Actually, there was some 3 racing shocks in the one that Emerson has. Some 3 racing shocks in 2 packages. So I took one of the packages and I gave Emerson the other one. He might put them on his Losi, actually, Mini B. We were looking at seeing if they can fit. And then we got in some parts. It looks like they're right out of the factory team kit.
Oh,
see?
Really?
Yeah, because there's arms and hinge pins and extra shocks and shock bodies and shock oil. It's still in the pack. And then this one is, let's see what we got here. Dog bones.
Oh, that doesn't have the CVDs?
Turnbuckles.
MIP used to make CVDs for that car.
Let's see, front and rear hubs and spindles, so we can break at least a couple things. Oh, and outdrives too. Ooh, and axles. So,
are those steel or plastic?
Steel.
Really?
I think this is from a factory team kit.
Yeah, because the factory team kit came with MIP diffs in it.
Yeah, and then the car that I took has let's see what it has here. It's got a aluminum. It's hard to see. An aluminum steering rack. And then after I paid for these, and I was like, oh man, I wonder. I texted Justin, and I was like, hey, you got any more of those? Got any of those Impulse RC 12 millimeter wheel hexes lying around? Because that's what we used to do. We used to put touring car tires on these. And that was pretty dialed back in the day. So he said he might have some. He's gonna look. So the next time I talk to him, maybe he'll have some.
You should see if he has that Impulse RC drag link.
Yeah, he made a drag link too that got rid of a lot of that slop on this car.
But I had one. I had one of those from him.
I'm pretty. These are foam tires too. So if all else fails, I can just use these foams.
Is that the IntelliPeak batteries?
It is. Yeah. Yeah, it is.
That's pretty cool.
This is like time capsule stuff. So only thing I got to watch is breaking it and stuff. Hopefully not, but
are you gonna put a two cell lipo in there?
Yeah, and I'm gonna put a little brushless hobby wing in there too.
That's what I have in my RC18R up there. I put that $40 hobby wing system in it.
It's cheap. Might as well.
Comes with the programming card.
Yep. They're what are they? $56 now?
I have no idea.
Yeah, I think that's what they are. 51 or 56, something like that. I had to buy one for my you could put the dynamite system in this.
Would it fit?
I think it would fit, and I think it'd be a lot cleaner.
Yeah. Well, I can go grab my car.
Yeah, you got that RC18B.
R,
yeah.
the rarest of the rare.
The rarest of the rare.
Let's have a look-see here once.
I took all 4 of my double X's that I have, and I made one awesome double X the other night.
Oh, really?
Oh, that's what I was doing. These guys wanted to know if I had watched Cobra Kai. And I stayed up and watched the whole thing in one shot. But I also,
How much cleaner can you get than that?
that's pretty clean. But if you get the Dynamite 2-in-1 system, you don't need the speaking controller's gone. Speaking controller's not there.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I shortened all the wires too. I hardwired it, and then that servo I had to put it in pretty funny. I think I had to drill it again. Oh no, I put it in there correctly. It's a Savic servo.
Yeah,
put in there.
that was always the weird thing about those back in the day. There wasn't a lot of good ways to get your servo, and aftermarket servo in there.
Oh, these diffs still feel pretty good. Too bad there's not a rally class, or I'd come up and race this.
You could. Guys are racing their Latrax rally cars in the 4-wheel drive class.
This thing would pop off every ball cup, though.
Probably.
Like the last time I drove it, it just kept popping ball cups off.
Yeah. Tomorrow night there's no mini racing though, because of the TCS race this weekend.
Really?
Yeah. Hey,
I don't want to break it.
No, I know. That's what I'm looking at this car. If I didn't have all these parts, I'd probably think twice. I would have probably just let Emerson have both cars so that he could, if he breaks it, he'd have parts.
Yeah.
But now we got parts. And we looked online. There's still tons of aftermarket stuff available for these things that you can buy. So.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Man, Associated needs to make another one of these.
They do. It would be pretty dialed if they came out with a B6.M. Just like a mini, a B6M or something like that. Yeah, that'd be so crazy. It'd
be really cool if it had like adjustable diff height and like all the stuff.
I'd
like quick change diff. Like everything is just like the same car, just smaller.
Yeah, it'd be amazing. I'm gonna start our show.
Okay.
This is Alex Sturgeon with the Hobbytown Hobbyplex, and with me as always,
Will Brenton.
And welcome to the Hobbyplex Show podcast. This show is always brought to you by Pivot Lending Group. You can find them at pivotlending.com. Mention our show. Get a $500 lender credit or 0.125 off of your interest rate. And contact Don Zoller or Aiden Olson's dad. Today I wanted to talk about, God, that's so cool.
Yeah.
That's so neat. I gotta find one of those. I gotta find one of those bodies.
Yeah, they're hard to find.
I know. I want to talk about the Worlds, right? Because we gave our predictions. We were way off.
I said Mayfield or Ungaro.
Yeah, you did.
But yeah, a lot of our picks didn't even make the main.
Dude, how incredible of a race is that? And then we'll talk about our this weekend's racing. We had a pretty good race day, Friday and Saturday. Friday's been a lot of fun lately. The last 3 weeks have been a lot of fun. It's kind of fun running the races again too. Like I haven't ran Friday nights and on a regular basis in quite a while. Don't forget, we got 2 more podcasts. So it's this one, and then next Monday before the summer series, you guys can hit the super chat button and predict who's gonna finish higher in the A main of Mod 2 Will, me or Will. And at the end of, we're at $16, and at the end of the next 2 weeks, we'll count all that up, and we're gonna, whoever finishes higher will get the pot.
Yeah.
So if you
give me back my $16.
Yeah, give me back my $16. Gretchen got us YouTube TV for a little while.
Yeah.
Right in time for me to watch Nebraska lose terribly to a crappy Sunbelt team. And but now I get to watch South Park whenever I want again. I mean, you can watch South Park for free on South Park Studios, but it's not the same as just pulling it up and watching it, you know? So that's been kind of fun lately. It's kind of weird how you get back in the same, like I haven't had actual TV for about 3 years now.
Yeah.
And it's kind of funny how you get back into the same sort of routines now. Because I just watch Big Ten Network, South Park, and that's about it, unless there's something on HBO. I've been dabbling with the new Game of Thrones show, even though I swore I wouldn't.
No, we've been watching it.
I know. I just don't want to get let down again.
No, you're gonna.
I know.
I can see it coming already.
All right, let's talk Worlds. We got because we actually have to be out of here by 8 o'clock. So,
Yeah,
yeah, for real this time. I don't know. What'd you think? I tried to watch as much as I could. I even stayed up all night one night. I watched the entire first round of qualifying, and then I had to sleep because I had to work, and then I rewatched the rest of that day, and then I tried to stay up and watch rounds 4 through 6, but I think I only made it to I think I made the last one. I think I made I watched the A main qualifiers for round 6, so I missed 4 and 5 because I couldn't I had to go to sleep. But I did watch the main.
Yeah.
And I tried to watch the semis, but I'm a zombie in the morning, so
I woke up just in time to watch the mains. I woke up at like 9 o'clock, and it's like, oh, I missed the mains, and it's like, oh, they're happening right now.
They're happening right now.
So,
I was very impressed by how it's almost like the European racers really. Maybe this is just my American-centric look at it, because I'm over here and we get to see all of our guys race at all of these races, all the race time entertainment races that happened, almost monthly, it seems like, the Nationals, the DNC, the one in Vegas.
Silver
State. We get to see all these guys on a regular basis, and so we have really nothing to compare that with. I almost felt like the Europeans never really showed their hand the last couple of years. I mean, part of it is because they couldn't, because a lot of their places were still in lockdown. They did have Euros this year. I mean, so that was cool, and I actually did catch a little bit of that. You've had the RCGP is back, so you've got to see Ungaro and Ronafalk and those guys, but I think a lot of people didn't know really what to expect, and then we go, everybody goes there, and bam, you've got multiple, not just Ungaro and Ronafalk, but Canas and Barufalo and the Kilich bros.
Mm-hmm.
Dude, those guys are going to be. Either one of those guys could be the next world champion in 2 years.
Oh yeah,
that's how good I think they were. Especially, that really impressed me a lot.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm gonna turn my phone off. So, but that I found that was really, really impressive. Yeah, it was clear the Americans were pretty much struggling, but they worked their way up.
Yeah. My take on the whole like American versus European this year or this Worlds was, so if you look at the types of tracks that we race on, they're all tracks where you're not evolving the car setup is not evolving to make the car faster, it's making it so it drives easier through the track disintegrating, right? So we don't really race on tracks where you're just like pushing as hard as you can very often.
Yeah.
Like they're all blown out and it just is what it is. That's fine and all, but then you go to a Worlds event where, lots of grip, you can make it around on bald tires because the track grip is so high. You're literally running on a rubber groove around the whole track. Hot Race said they went to clay compound tires for the main. What everybody else did, I don't know. And it's hard to compete with that in 8 scale. It's like you go from racing, motocross style cars to racing MotoGP style cars or motorcycles.
Yeah,
like,
that's a good comparison. Actually, that's a really good comparison.
Yeah. So yeah, you go from running a 450 dirt bike to running a 1200 or higher cc motorcycle for road racing. You're gonna struggle. And that's just not what we have around here. And I think that's why the Americans struggled, is because we're used to racing, more rougher off-road tracks, that are more like for, kind of like it's not necessarily who's gonna crash. It's making your car like easier to drive, to adapt through all the bumps and stuff. It's like you end up.
Were you bothered by the fact that the track really didn't change at all from, like they just ran the Euros there not that long ago?
No, I don't think so. I mean, no, I don't have an opinion on that. The I think that the surface was great. Like I just wish that our guys could have had some more time on something like that. And honestly, it reminds me of how the Hobbyplex gets for 8-scale racing during the winter series. You get that nice wide black groove. You can run bald tires almost, and
it impressed me that the track really didn't break up at all, like hardly at all. And I liked how it had jumps.
Sometimes it had really good.
Sometimes you don't see
jumps.
that at other tracks.
It looked like their jumps were really consistent too. They didn't change a whole lot. They didn't get like, oh, there's the sweet spot over there, and the landing over there is a giant crater. And I thought it was great. Like there was nothing wrong with the facility or the track. I just wish that the Americans could have had more time to work on a car just for that, because I bet you could have just showed up with an entire. You would have been ahead to show up with a completely different setup car for something like that. For that smoother surface, because I mean, I bet everything got changed.
Well, Bruno said in his race report that the track changed and the semis and main day from the qualifiers.
Oh, really? Like it had more grip.
I think so. I think he said something about the loss of side bite, maybe. So maybe it had less grip. I don't know.
Maybe.
But that's off road. I mean, that's going to happen anyway, especially on an outdoor track.
No, that's fine. It was smooth. It looks super fast. To me, it looks like the grip came up, and it was kind of like the front end was overpowering the rear.
Yeah,
and that's why they might have felt looser or like less grip, but it was actually more.
I mean, you could have a 10-degree change in temperature, and the track would be completely different if it on an outdoor track.
Mm-hmm.
I gotta say, I really thought. With 19 minutes left to go, I really thought that it was going to come down to Ronafalk and Dakota.
Oh yeah.
At 19 minutes, David was second and going back and forth for first, I believe, and then Dakota was coming. Mm-hmm. And then Dakota had this one. I remember the point when it happened. It was one crash, and he all of a sudden was back to 8 seconds off of the lead, and he had slipped back to fourth. And then I think that's when something happened to his car.
Yeah,
and he fell back to 12th.
Shit, I mean, he started
13th, and he was in third with 19 minutes left to go.
I mean,
man,
imagine if he had better track position.
God, I know.
Mm-hmm.
But David probably should have won. He had a couple of mistakes that really cost him that race. He was in front and with one less fuel stop.
Mm-hmm.
And then a couple little mishaps, and Marshall needed mishaps, and that advantage was gone.
His car got really hard to drive.
Looked like it.
You could just tell.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden it just settled back in. It was really weird.
Yeah.
So I don't know if like the clearance on the shocks on that car is too tight, and they just kind of like pack up, and the piston kind of rings to the bore of the shock body, or what? Because it was just kind of this ebb and flow of that thing getting harder to drive and then easy to drive again. So you could see it. Like then, like the last few minutes, he was just like he was doing lines that nobody even run I didn't see anybody run all weekend. It was like super tight, like turned in the air coming onto the straightaways. Like, how did you do that? And then so he reeled Davide back in.
Yeah.
And then
like
he,
2
then
or
he
3
crashed again,
times.
so.
Yeah, 2 or 3 times. He'd reel him back in and then
It's just like Sutton would bite him. I don't know what tires he ran, if he ran hot race or because he doesn't have a tire sponsor, right?
I don't know. He might have been on hot race actually.
Yeah. Huh.
I thought I saw a comparison of tires, and it was I'm pretty sure one of them said hot race and the other one was AKA.
Yeah, Davide is on AKA. Though whatever J Concepts ran for a compound, and you go from 13th to 3rd, that's pretty dang good. So
yeah, I mean, and Mayfield,
Dakota's
I mean,
car. Yeah, Mayfield.
Ryan ended up
for
4th.
fourth.
Ryan and Ty were basically hanging around that 4th and 5th spot for a majority of that race. Coelho, who almost didn't make the main, kind of like Dakota, there was a giant that one semi where they roll in was pretty messy. And then
I didn't watch the semis. I kind of wish I did.
How about Cole Ogden?
Yeah, he made the main at the World.
I mean, he wasn't even in my. It's not that I forgot about him, but I kind of forgot about him.
Everybody always forgets about him.
I know.
Like until he like has something to complain about. That's like the only time you ever hear about it. Yeah, honestly. Like.
Yeah, but I mean, boy. Yeah, he's pretty good. And
yeah, no,
I got to stop forgetting
great.
about him at these things when I'm picking people.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, he did really good.
Wonder
what he had to complain about.
I liked his interview.
What was his interview?
With Nick on RC Racing TV. He was going through the pits before the start of the main. He was asking how everybody was doing, and he's like, "Cole, do you think you have a shot at winning this thing?" And Cole's like, "Of course I do. Why would I be racing if I didn't think I'd have a shot?" I was like, "That's a great answer." Got to have that mentality. I think Barufalo was the only techno in the main, which bums me out.
That's pretty cool, though. The techno made the main.
I know, but it wasn't Jared Tebow.
Yeah, I know. That's like the first main, and he hasn't made it a Worlds in a long time.
And I think he was in that mix with that crappy, this crappy semi, like the start of this semi. I need to go back and rewatch it, but
yeah,
I think that had a little bit to do with it.
Probably. I need to watch the semis. Then Cole Tollert had the worst luck out of anybody. I don't know if he kicked a black cat or walked under a ladder or broke 20 mirrors on his way here, but on his way there. But he had like some of the worst luck I'd ever seen.
I saw his first qualifier in round 1. I was like, oh man, Cole did pretty good because Cole was in like heat 6, and his top spot stayed the top spot, I think, until like heat 12 or something like that. So he did his first qualifier was pretty good, and then everything else happened after that. He got sick, got food poisoning. Got a little. They say he got a little bit of heat stroke because it was really hot there, I guess.
Yeah.
Yeah, that sucked for him. Who else? How about Mason Fuller? Getting top 15s, I think. A couple times in qualifying, definitely top 20s. I mean, that's a good pickup for hot bodies. I mean, when it happened, I was surprised, but at the same time, I wasn't, because they were really focusing on 8 scale, anyways.
Man, I really thought Mason was going to make the main.
I did too. I really did. But the experience is going to be good. The enormous amount of pressure at these races, and the different services that you run on at the IFMAR events. You know, when you travel the world to do these things, I think you do need a little bit of experience will go a long way. So, yeah,
it would have been neat, like, you know, not neat. I don't know. Never mind. Like, it would have been neat to see David Ronalfolk win with that car, though. Like, it would have been kind of cool.
Yeah, I know.
You know,
I know what you're trying to say.
Yeah, it would have been cool, but not too cool.
I think that I do think that this drive from him, though, against this field will definitely help their sales.
Oh yeah,
I have no doubt in my mind.
I'm sure, because this is the first time they've ever had a really good driver.
Well, I mean, they've done the RCGP thing now for since the start of the year.
Right. This is with I mean, Runafalk's been their first world championship level driver, right? Yeah.
There's rumors I guess there's rumors they're going to pick up another one.
Oh, really?
Because this is the big cycle year.
Mm-hmm.
Where a lot of things are going to change.
Oh yeah.
So, not I like Davide Ongaro. I you can see when he does his interviews and stuff, he's got really good positive energy and seems like a happy dude.
Mm-hmm.
It's historic to run back to back, even though they were 4 years apart, but back to back world's champions. But it is cool when other people win.
Yeah.
You know?
Davide's been winning everything.
Well, yeah, he's good.
Yeah. And so is Associated.
Ronnefolk won this year's Worlds, though. Or not Euros. He won this year's. He beat him at the Euros. I think on the same track, actually.
Mm-hmm.
But Associated, another world championship they can add to that shirt. Do you think somebody at Associated quietly wishes they wouldn't keep winning Worlds so they wouldn't have to make new shirts all the time every year or 2 years?
They make new shirts all the time.
I know, but I mean they've got their, I don't know. You know what I'm trying to say? Like, you'd think they'd be like, come on, guys, now I got to design, now I got to change this number on this shirt.
Yeah, I think that's why they go out of stock, like those shirts, you know what I mean? Like, let them trickle down, and then oh boy, add another digit to that one, you know?
Yeah. Actually,
it's cool,
dude. If we're going to talk about manufacturers, you don't forget about Juan Carlos Canas running the S-Works, getting third.
Yeah.
So you had a long-standing Team Associated, right? No doubt there. But then you had a Miyako and an S-Works on the podium of this year's Worlds, and then a Mugen, a couple X-Rays, Mugen, and then an Infinity car. Do they even sell that Infinity car yet?
Dude, I have no idea.
Yeah. Hot Racing, X-Ray, Techno, TLR, and then Mugen. So, yeah, kind of. And I wouldn't say oddballs because I think they're both. 8 scale is such a international class that you have all these different manufacturers. I think there's actually a lot less manufacturers now than there was 10 years ago.
Yeah, I watched the 2008 Worlds after watching the new Worlds, or the latest one, and I was like, oh my god, I could have won that Worlds. Looking at those cars going around the track back then, they just look like dinosaurs going like 2 miles an hour.
Yeah,
you know, and then it's like now you watch these cars, they're going like triple the speed. You know, it's unreal. It'd be neat to go back in time with one of those cars on that track. You know, because I mean, just the amount of they look like they carried no. It's like watching somebody try to drive an RC10 on a loose loamy track,
right?
But like watching that Worlds.
Dude, you want to get your mind blown? Go back and watch. I found the video. I'm going to send it to you. I think it's a Ray's RC videos that's been uploaded, but the 99. It's either the 99 or the 2001 10th scale off-road Worlds in South Africa.
Mm-hmm.
Go back and watch that one because that track looked no fun. None of the jumps actually worked, and everybody was crashing. Like, you think about how well you and I, which I consider us to be fairly regular people, you know, and you and I can both drive pretty damn good. Especially when we want to, when we have something to do like $16 the next weekend. But we can drive really good. You watch that video and you're like, who are these people driving this? But it's all the best in the world. Like Francis there, Kinwald's there. They're all crashing. You can. I would love to go back in time and be a part of that, just because if they're crashing that much, you know, I'm going to crash that much.
Yeah.
And maybe I could do good then maybe if I transported back in time 20 years with the talent level that I have now and the car that I have now and race back then,
and brushless system and lipo.
Yeah, I'd have to change. I'd have to go to a brushed motor, which is fine.
That's what I'd want to take back in time with me is a 2.4 radio, a couple lipo batteries, and a brushless system.
I mean, our stock motors go as fast as mod went back then.
Could you imagine you just like you show up at that Worlds with the B6.4 just all decked out like the way my car is now, and you go to that Worlds and you're like, hey guys, I came to race. You just wear I'm wearing like a van shirt or something.
Just hey, I built my own car here.
Yeah, I made this is the Worlds. You can build your own stuff, right? Well, like I'm like a alien, and I like made this.
Yeah.
Yep, made it in my garage, and I developed this new power system. I'll sell it to you for $1 gajillion after this race. I wonder if it would have been illegal to run a brushless system at that Worlds. I mean, it's the Worlds, right?
Yeah, but you still got to go through tech. I bet you. Yeah, you wouldn't have been able to.
You're just like, hey, I have this. Like this.
Because even in mod on the Worlds level, you still got rules you got to follow.
Yeah.
And it's got to be on what's the list they call it? They call it something different in Europe. Homogenization or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. Whatever. Anyways, so back to the Worlds real quick. Just to wrap up. I kind of picked Mayfield. I didn't think Mayfield or Dakota, and I think that Cole Ogden surprised me. I mean, I guess next time I won't forget about Cole for sure. And but our guys, Ryan, Cole, and Dakota, those were your 3 Americans in the Worlds, and then you had Ty, technically Canadian, but your 4 Roar members were up there, and that's kind of the usual suspects in 8 scale. We were missing a couple big names for that matter. Spencer Rivkin wasn't there in the main. Tebow, Cavallari. I think Mason Fuller will be ready to go for the next one for sure.
Oh, I think so too.
I think all these guys will be back. I don't see them going anywhere.
Mm-hmm.
It'll be interesting. It'll be interesting to see what a couple of these guys' cars will be in 2 years.
One person that I think will be in the main at the next Worlds for 8 scale is Ryan Pavitas.
Yeah,
I think so.
Yeah,
like we don't talk about him a lot because we don't like race around him or nothing. But I think that he's probably the next guy to start making some mains at these bigger ones.
Yep.
Because he's still pretty new.
Mm-hmm.
If you think about it. But
did you watch the 15 and under main?
No,
dude. Okay, nobody's been able to answer this yet, but Caden Fuller got a stop and go while he was leading by like 5 seconds. He came into the pits to get fuel, and then the next lap he had to give a stop and go. I would like to know what the stop and go was for.
Huh?
Because if it's for idea. Some little piddly, stupid, like maybe a pit infraction, like it was crazy at the when I announced the 8 scale on-road nationals in Lincoln a couple years ago. Like there's certain ways you have to pit, and those guys have to be on knee pads, and they got to bring the car in, and they have to be like a certain way, like over the fence. Like they can't like hang their car over the pit lane. They have to bring it back a certain way.
Mm-hmm.
If it's something as piddly like that in the 15 and under main, that's pretty shitty.
Yeah. Did he not win because of that?
I think so. He was gone. Yeah. He had 5 seconds on everybody, and they were all crashing behind him. He came in for his first pit stop, then the stop and go or pass through or whatever it was, but it takes like 5 seconds to get through pit lane. So then the pack was back on him, and so that lead was gone. And he had a shot or two to get by a little bump at the end, but I mean,
yeah.
I'd like to know what that was for. Nobody's been able to answer that for me, and maybe I should I'm not sure if they're back yet, but I was going to text Mike.
Yeah, let me know when you find out. I'm interested to know too.
Because what a bunch of crap.
Mm-hmm.
You know,
Yeah.
if it was something as like you know, because somebody pointed out when in the semis when Chloe was pitting Dakota, and this was something I found weird too. Was Chloe was pitting Dakota by herself, and I'm pretty sure you're allowed 2 people.
You are.
I was a little
would believe
surprised.
so.
I was surprised that she didn't have somebody, or she wasn't the grabber. Either way, 2 people to grab the car, the other person to fuel it up. That's the faster way to do it. And Chloe had it one-handed and was getting the fuel thing in there, but she was doing it. She didn't draw the car all the way back, and somebody online was like, "Hey, shouldn't that be a penalty?" And you know, maybe they got away with one. It's not like they're trying to get away with anything, but maybe they, you know, nobody saw that. But if that's what they called that on, or something stupid like that, I'd be very disappointed.
Yeah.
Anyways,
hey, you know, you're under a microscope at those races.
Yeah. Yeah, I know. And I want to point this out too. This is my last thought on the Worlds. There were a lot of disqualifications.
Yeah.
And could you imagine I did not see the outrage online over those disqualifications that you would have seen if it was the Roar Nats.
Yeah. No, that's true.
Do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So,
because it was the width, like the cars fitting in the box.
Most of them was width. A couple of them ended up being fuel tanks.
In
the later rounds, I think.
Yeah.
So, but obviously the guys who got disqualified got their cars narrowed and made it work. But could you imagine if that was a Roar race?
Yeah, no, it would have been terrible.
And those big names that got disqualified in that first round for that, like the RC World would have been in revolt. There would have been
an entire podcast about it on another channel.
There would have been a boycott of Roar. There would have been people wanting their money back and all this other stuff.
Yeah, a lot of complaining.
Yeah. I don't know. That's what I thought. Anything else you got on the World?
Not that I can think of. But I thought the event looked really good. You know, the track looked great. You know,
facility's amazing. I'm glad it was in a place that was accessible. You know, because sometimes IFMAR doesn't award races to places that are as easily accessible.
Right.
So, it's a really cool track. I wish America had tracks like that were kind of permanent and had this had what they've got these giant grandstands and their driver stand area underneath of the driver stand area. You know, they got over here they had like.
Did you see how many TVs they had in this, like pit lane?
Yes.
There was like 5 or 6 of them. It was insane. It was great.
I think that's why one of the reasons why Joey went to where he went for the dirt and the Nitro Challenge and stuff. Because every year since that race has moved to where it's at, it seems like it's getting more and more of that sort of look. You know? And Thornhill is very much that way.
Right.
The track's not necessarily a permanent track, but at least the facility kind of has that Worlds look to it. Man, I hope the Worlds are there. I hope they put in for the Worlds at Thornhill.
Yeah. That'd be cool.
That would be honestly, in my head, that's the only place where they could be when the 8 scale when 8 scale's back in the United States, when it's our turn.
Yeah.
I couldn't imagine it. I couldn't imagine it anywhere else other than there in A Main, I guess, again.
Yeah. It'd be cool to see it at Thornhill, though.
But Thornhill, in my opinion, would be where to go.
Yeah. I kind of wonder, where do you think they're going to have the next 10 scale Worlds?
Off-road?
Yeah.
That place in Florida on carpet.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
That's what you think, or that's what you know?
That's what I know.
Yeah.
That's what I think. I think and know, kind of. That's the rumor, anyways. So, I had a thought about that too. Wherever they are in the United States next year, I think I'm going to take that week off of work and I'm going to go.
Oh, really?
And I'm going to be like a sideline reporter.
Yeah.
I'm going to get
cool.
I'm going to get my media creds, and I'm going to go.
Alex Sturgeon here, trackside, the IFMAR Worlds.
Yeah.
Like
100%. That's what I'm doing.
Yeah.
I'm going to be like that dude that reports on the Huskers at the end of every loss, and it's like 5 minutes of just completely shitting on the program the whole time. I can't remember his name, but he does a really good job of it. I'm going to be like that guy. But that's what I think I'm going to do. I think I'm going to do that.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah. Wherever they are. But I think they're going to be there. I'm pretty sure.
Yeah.
I have no problem with that now. Now I don't have any problem with that. In 2015, I was like, oh, God. Carpet? Astro? What? But now,
It almost makes sense because guys overseas don't really race on dirt a whole lot.
Well, I mean, it's not just that, but our cars are sort of
evolved and
made for that sort of level of grip, and the tracks have gotten a whole lot better, you know. And that track is big and fast, and they've got all these cool features they do, and you know, it looks nice and it's clean, and it's in Florida, you know.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know. I think that'd be a cool place. Like I said, we got asked to bid on it, and you can't justify shutting the place down for a month.
Yeah, we'd lose money on our Worlds.
We'd lose money. We'd lose momentum. You know, believe it or not, our weekly racing, not just on off-road, but Tiny Tuesday, Winning Wednesday carpet, Family Friday off-road, Saturday speed on Saturdays. Without those, you know, we're just a hobby shop.
Mm-hmm.
And so, you know, for essentially not doing any of that for 1 month would be killer to us. So
yeah, and it's like, what do I care if we have a Worlds at our track? Because I mean, we wouldn't be able to race it.
No, and that's the other thing. If I had suddenly won a couple $1 million in a lottery or something, yeah, I'd probably do it and just throw money at the place, you know, and just to say that we would have it. Yeah, we held the Worlds, you know, but we don't have that sort of financial
luxury
freedom. Yeah. We're not, So our weekly racing is just a big deal. So can't do it. That being said, did you read Jason Rona's own little race report that he put on, where he said that they informed everybody they are going to have a e-buggy Worlds?
Yeah, I heard that. It's something that's been talked about for a little while, so that'll be cool.
Yeah, that will be cool. It's another race.
Where would they have it at?
You know, I don't know. It'll be a new block. It'll be a new race, so they'll have to allocate the blocks every 2 years. But
how do you qualify for just the electric 8 scale nationals? That'd be an incentive to go, right?
That's actually, that's
actually a really good idea.
That would make it interesting because like this year it was the same weekend as the Visions race. So if it was a Worlds qualifier, all those guys that went to the Visions race probably would have had to have gone to the e-buggy one no matter what.
Yeah.
Ugh. That's interesting. It's not going to be on the same weekend next year, but I'm just saying.
Huh.
That'll be
that'd make the electric 8 scale road nats a big deal.
Yeah. At least in the qualifying year.
Yeah.
You know.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, yeah, that's interesting. You know, I've lost my interest in 8 scale altogether. Like this year I've just been focusing so much on running on getting better at mod buggy and 13.5 4-wheel drive again, you know, as I had been in the past, that I kind of lost my interest for 8 scale, but I feel like 8 scale e-buggy electronics have somehow taken a step backwards.
I don't. This is the most reliable system I've had in a long time.
Really?
Yeah, I haven't had problems with electronics in 8 skill in a long time.
I just didn't like how mine felt.
Huh.
Like no matter what I would do, the programming on mine, I changed a lot of stuff on it to try to get the right feel that I wanted to, and it never really materialized into anything. Maybe it's just me. But I've seen a lot of blown up ESCs lately in eBuggy. I don't know. Maybe it's just me. I just felt like
maybe it's not the electronics, but the cars are getting built different, so there's not as much cushion for the speed controls and stuff in the cars.
Yeah,
maybe.
Yeah,
maybe that has a lot to do with it.
Yeah, I could see that. That being said, I got Emerson's Nitro Truggy sitting at home.
Yeah.
So
you gonna race it?
I think so. We gotta get it running. We've been slacking. We've been doing other stuff.
Yeah, I hear you there.
We've been slacking. Let's those of you guys in the comments, as usual, we'll get to the comments at the end of the show unless I see something that pops up that's pertinent to what we're discussing, I guess. If you want to interrupt the show, though, you can always leave a super chat. And if you want to get on the action, Will and I have made a bet that whoever finishes higher in two-wheel mod at our last Summer Series race gets the super chat pot starting 2 weeks ago. So right now it's at $16. So
yeah,
you can add to it. If you add to it, put in the chat who you're betting on, basically.
Yeah, who do you think is gonna come out ahead of the other one?
Yeah,
not win overall, but who's gonna finish 5th? Who's gonna finish 6th?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's pretty funny.
Yeah, we like to have fun here.
We like to have fun here. I want to get to our race results real quick, and then we'll take a break and try to wrap her up because we got like 20 minutes.
Okay.
While you were having fun at in Fairbury, Nebraska, at a car show. Was that Sunday or Saturday?
That was Sunday.
But it was Sunday? Oh.
What was I doing? I did something on Saturday. I think I was getting it ready. Give her the old once over polish.
Oh Jesus! Oh man, Nick Nuthouse. He just upped the ante.
What?
He just dropped $20. He says, "Will for the win."
Really?
Yep.
Wow, that's nice of him.
So we're at $36 now. Now it's getting real.
Yeah.
Now it's getting real.
I don't know if I can handle all this pressure. I've never seen so much money in one place in my life.
Now it's getting real. So Friday night we had 36 entries, 26 people, and we've had really successful Fridays the last month or so. And when I say successful, I mean more than one heat of Plex spec. As I've always said, on Friday nights, if we have one heat of Plex spec, it's a good night. If we have more than one heat, that's what we want, right? So we've had A and B mains in almost in every Friday that I've ran it the last 3 weeks. Let's go to the A main here. Oh, this was a big deal. I'm going to get to it here in a minute. But Ariana Smith has picked up her third Plex spec win in a row on Friday nights. And this one was from Dominant Fashion, TQ in a win. Emily Bagley got second. So
nice.
Two of the women folk, first and second in Plex spec, and then Yahweh Penna was third. Tyler Remereed was fourth. Isabella McMullen was in the mix. She's fifth. Cody Berwick was sixth. Nick Chadwell was seventh. And Alex Eichler qualified fourth, finished eighth. Still making the mains on Friday nights. But Ariana has been very dominant in Plex spec. Not like multiple lap dominant, because she had a 9 at 5:08 and Emily had a 9 at 5:35. I've had a couple of people come up to me and be like, "Hey, man, when are you gonna kick Ariana out of Plex spec?" And it would have to be like she's getting 12 laps in 5 minutes.
Yeah.
For that to happen, because
she'd have to be on pace with the regular class.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So on Friday nights we're pretty lenient. We're allowing people to race like the Eichlers. We're letting Alex race independent buggy or stock buggy and Plex spec, just because I want these guys to get as much track time as they can.
That's what matters.
And so we're letting that happen. And it's helping out quite a bit with these guys, getting the track and everything. But for Ariana to move up and be forced to move up, she'd either A, have to win Plex spec at the Summer Series, which she's not the one this year, or B, all of a sudden be putting 3 laps on people. That ain't happening. So for now, worry about yourself and get better. That's all I have to say about that. But good job, Ariana. She's doing really good. And she likes coming to the track. That's another good thing too. We want to keep it that way.
Yeah.
She does got that Tommy Smith blood in her too, so she's supposed to be fast,
Oh yeah. Yep. It's hard to beat Tommy.
We had 4-wheel drives. We had Josh McMullen taking the win, Steve Wall second, Nick Petrick was third, and Tyler Remery was fourth. And then the last 3 Fridays, I've been running my car again, mostly to just keep driving. Because of the INS race, I just want to keep driving. I don't want to stop driving. So I've been basically, I've been running just like I would normally. Tommy's been there running just like we would normally, but we've been kind of taking ourselves out of the main, so we don't really count. So between Tommy and I got first, he got second, 13:08, 13:16. But check who was out. This is awesome. Who was at the Plex this Friday? And won stock buggy. CJ Greaves.
How do I know that name?
He's a 1-1 truck racer.
Oh really?
Yeah.
Does he live in Omaha? Or
no,
in
Wisconsin. He lives in Wisconsin. But he drove. Remember, he drove for Traxxas.
Yeah.
Like the buggies,
right,
and the Pro 2 and Pro 4 trucks.
Yeah.
And he does. He was.
He had his name and picture on the box.
Yeah, and he races like side by sides as well. And I think he just switched sponsors to like Polaris or something like that, or from Polaris. I can't remember what he said. But when he came in to register, he goes, I go, what's your last name? He goes, Greaves. And I was like, Greaves. And then he goes, what's your first name? He goes, CJ. And I'm like, no freaking way. I was like, would you autograph my boob? I'm like, I didn't do that. But I wanted to. It was really cool.
What class did he run?
Stock buggy. He's a really good RC car driver. He said he mostly does dirt oval too.
Oh, that's cool.
But it was pretty sick. He's there with Tyler Remery. I guess they're buds, and that was freaking awesome, man. And he did really good. Got a 13.628. I think he got a 13 at the end of the night. The track was getting cleaned off a little bit more. But yeah, that's freaking awesome, dude. And he even said he's like, I always wanted to come here. So there you go. Thought that was sick. I was pretty happy. I was pretty down to earth with him. You know how it's kind of like when Jared Tebow comes. Like I don't want him to feel uncomfortable and be like, oh my God, Yeah. So anyways, but I'll talk him up here on the podcast because he's not here, and I don't have to worry about it. McMullen finished second. Anthony Santi finished third in stock buggy. And then we had Eric Jarman, Steve Wall, Cody Haida, Alex Eichler, and Isabella McMullen. So we had 10 total 2-wheel drive cars on a Friday night. And then Slash Spec. And this was the biggest night of Slash Spec so far. So 3 weeks ago, it was just Tommy and me. Last week, I believe it was Tommy, me, and maybe, I can't remember who else was there. Emerson finally got his out, and then I think it was Eric Jarman. Maybe it was Anthony. It's one of those two. And then this week, it was me, Anthony, Eric, Holly Haida, Chris Haida, Tommy, and then Emerson didn't run his last one. He actually took off. He went to go hang out with his buds. So, we just got a big one, big super chat from Heidbreder. Jacob Heidbreder Haven't
Yeah?
seen him in a while. Hot Body's driver from Eastern Iowa now. He races at the Star Collectibles in Davenport on that big, giant, super cool off-road track they have with those 3 walls.
Oh, nice.
And $20, $19.99. He says Alex for the win.
Oh.
So that brings us up to $56.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, buddy.
Dude, I'm gonna take you out. I don't for $50. I'll take you out for $50.
Dude, this one time, this at band camp,
it's gonna be one of those races where we're like racing to the line.
Yeah, I hope so.
For 9th.
I hope so. I
just knocking the shit out of our cars.
Oh my God. I was involved in a money race once at the Lincoln Goodyear track.
Yeah.
And I got a really good Marshall. Like I was the fastest truck there. I remember this stock truck. I was the fastest truck there. But I was crashing a lot because I think I was like 15 or 16. I can't remember how old I was. But anyways, I got a really good Marshall and I ended up winning the race. And I beat Randy Ryder. And Randy never let it go.
Really?
Like I'm talking like weeks before he passed away. He would bring it up.
What did he say?
He's like, that boat, yeah, I won that one. I won that one. I'm sorry. Normally I wouldn't care, but this is for money. And then the dude that was running.
How much money was it?
It wasn't a lot. It was like $20. But the guy the race director at the time, and I can't remember his name, but I know him if I saw him again. He was like, here, just take this and pack your stuff up and go. He's like, get out of here. I'll take care of it.
That makes it even better that it wasn't for a lot of money.
It was like $20.
That's funny.
Yeah. $56 now.
Mm-hmm.
That's a lot of pressure.
Yeah.
Yeah. And as I've always said, if you don't have a stock slash, you should just get a stock slash. They're $200. You know, I know that's still a lot of money these days, but if you race RC cars, it's not that much money.
Yeah.
Everybody should have a stock slash. The cool part about stock slash is you don't have to work on them.
Mm-hmm.
I never work on mine.
Yeah.
Mine's fast too.
If you work on it, you're trying too hard.
Yeah, I never work on mine.
Work
I haven't
on
even
it when it
broke mine
breaks.
yet.
Yeah, don't break it and never work on it.
Yeah. Saturday we had 28 entries, 18 drivers. There was no way we were not going to race because when I got there, there was already the Vanderbeeks were there, Brian Burnt was there, Connor Herrick was there, and I'm like, well, we got a really good mod class for sure, so we'll see what happens. And then it ended up being a really good day, actually. There was a few heats that were kind of light. We had to beg for corner marshals for most of the day. But I did something different. I set us up in AAA mains instead of qualifying because why not? There was only one heat of everything, right?
Yeah.
So and then I just sort of randomly swapped the heats around between the three of them. So everybody kind of three guys got to start first, but three different guys had to start last. So Plex Spec AAA main results were Eric Jarman, Cam Kalin finally got his 4x4 out. And let me tell you something. Cameron didn't crash.
Yeah.
I don't think he crashed once.
Nice.
Eric was a little bit faster than him, but I don't think Cameron crashed or needed a marshal maybe one time throughout the entire day.
Yeah.
So that's pretty awesome. Jameson Conrad and then Skylar Conrad. So the Conrads were there, and the two kids ran Plex. We had 4 in Plex Spec. It was pretty fun. But yeah, dude, like for real, Cameron's a pretty good driver, really.
Yeah.
So he's got the kind of personality too, where I could see him like really focusing in on racing if he wanted to.
Yeah.
You know,
I think he'd be good at it. I've talked to him about it before.
Yeah. Mod Buggy AAA main results. Vanderbeek won the first 2. The Vanderbeeks all started first, second, and third in the second one. which was hilarious. Because I think Owen took his dad out and then also took Alex out. And so I know I was in the lead the first
But
part.
That was a long drive home.
Yeah, I know I was in the lead. I was in the lead the first part of the first race, or the second race or the lap. I was in the lead for like a lap, and then I was wrecking a lot the first two. I don't know what I was thinking, but I was kind of waiting for my car for the slicks to get better. You could see the lap times get faster and faster every main.
Yeah.
And by the end of the day, Alex had done a 50. Oh God, not a 50. Jeez Louise. Had done a 25 flat, and I had done a 25-1, which isn't quite Summer Series times, but what's so weird is Friday night. Fridays, I haven't been able to run slicks.
Yeah.
I feel like I haven't got any forward drive. So I don't know if it's because of the amount of plexers, no matter how, dusting off the track or whatever. But halfway through the day during practice, I went out to blow the track off, and the track was sticky. So I was like, "Oh, slicks it is." So we were on Friday nights. I couldn't do a 26. I think I did. My fastest lap was like a 27 flat, and then I put slicks on. And in practice, I was already a full second faster doing 26s, and then by the time the last main came around, we were almost on 24s. So, I don't know. Go figure.
Wow. Yeah.
Matt got third. Owen got fourth. Brian Burnt got fifth. Connor Herrick was sixth. It was fun. It was fun doing 3 heads-up races.
Yeah.
And,
you actually get to race 3 times.
Yeah. And I won the last main. I was pretty happy about that.
Oh, I would be.
I started on pole, so kind of got lucky there. But Alex started behind me, and he wasn't really catching me. I wrecked, and he got around me, but then he wrecked, and I got around him, and then after that, I mean, he got closer to me, but not like bumper to bumper close. So
yeah,
I was pretty happy with the last race for sure.
Mm-hmm.
Stock buggy, Emerson Sturgeon won the first 2, and he ripped off a 25-4 in the third A main with his stock buggy.
Nice.
Now I was really happy with that because his car was terrible a couple weeks ago. So I kind of made that my project car the last couple of nights. I've been working on it, and so he basically had a freshie, just a fresh car, and he told me he really liked it. You remember that tow we put in at Adrenaline?
Yeah.
Well, we left it all summer.
No.
And I finally took it out, and his car definitely is better in the corners. It's a lot faster.
Mm-hmm.
We should have done that. We should have done that earlier.
Mm-hmm.
And then I got slicks for him finally to break in because we want broken in tires for INS, and that I think that helped out too.
Yeah, I think you're gonna want like 2 sets for that race.
I think so. Dalton Conrad won the last main, finished second. Connor Hausch finished third. Ronnie Went, Eric Jarman, Jake Conrad, Daniel Bender didn't even race the first 2. He had a brand new B6.4 that he was putting in electronics for and getting it ready to go. And he ended up racing the last one. Nice. We had some trucks. We had Ken Boudet was the only 2-wheel drive. Ended up finishing second in AAA mains. Jake Conrad took the win. His truck looked really good. Eric Jarman was third, and Ronnie Went was fourth. Ronnie Went only ran the last main as well. And then 13.5 4-wheel drive. We had Owen Vanderbeek running mod. So Dalton Conrad actually won the actual class. Ronnie Went was second. Connor Hausch was third. Jake Conrad is fourth, and Bender didn't even race. He brought his car but didn't race. So Owen got some track time, and the other guys were racing for the class win. So nice. It was a fun day. Honestly, it was a fun day. I don't mind those. You know what? A couple of years ago, I would have freaked out that we only had 28 entries on a Saturday in September, but now I don't. It doesn't bother me at all. Yeah. So
that's good.
I'm not bothered by it at all because I know next week there'll be loads of people here again, and then I know that the first week of carpet, I'm confident that that's going to have a really good turnout. So I'm excited. I'm actually kind of excited to build new jumps and ramps and stuff too. Yeah. I'm motivated to get those. We got to fix them because they've been beat up pretty good. But anyways, yeah. All right, let's take a pivot break, and then we'll get through the comments, and we'll get out of here.
Okay, sounds good.
Okay.
And now, a word from our sponsors.
This is a Pivot Lending Update with David Olson and Don Zoller. Get some.
This is David Olson with Pivot Lending Group. Today we have Brian Tataviano, who is the CEO and owner of Pivot Lending Group. Brian, thanks for joining.
For sure. Thanks for having me.
For the listeners, the 5 C's of lending: credit capacity, capital, conditions, and character. So those are kind of the 5 blended. But Brian and I work with a lot of financial institutions, whether it's credit unions or community banks, that do a lot of character lending. As things change and pivot in the near future, I think there's opportunities for people that are listening that you may see something on TV or on the radio or on a podcast or something like that says, hey, we're XYZ mortgage company from all across the United States, call us, boom, boom, boom. But I think if you're in one of those situations, before you start to look at maybe programs that are coming up to help put you in a position to purchase the home, that you maybe reach out to your financial institution, if it's a community bank or a credit union, because there is a lot of character lending that still hangs with those people, goes a long way. I mean, we do a lot of originating for credit unions and community banks. We always have. And I'm hoping that the credit unions that still have the spirit of the credit union, there are some credit unions that are larger than most banks that I know. But some of the smaller credit unions that are the epitome of that spirit are there to help.
Well, credit unions never engaged in subprime lending as defined by the industry. They never did it. What they did was common sense loans. If they had been a member for 20 years and they got a divorce and their credit score went down, they would still look at a loan, a car loan, an equity loan, whatever it was, because they had the relationship. And that character piece, albeit subjective, it's a big part. It's a big part of how credit unions and community banks, for that matter, how they lend. It's about the relationship. It's about working both sides of the balance sheet, which is assets and liabilities, which is the complete reverse for the financial institution. Your asset is their liability and your liability is their asset. So if you can swing, if you're comfortable with the payment, buy a house. Because long term, it doesn't matter what today does. It doesn't matter what rates are at today. You can refinance very easily from a 30-year to a 30-year. Equity prices, historically speaking, take all the noise out, trend upward. It may not be 18% per year, but it will increase as far as value is concerned over a long period of time. One of the best forms of creating wealth is buy-in through the equity in your home. I don't suggest that you go out and you buy a ton of investment properties, but a primary residence is yours. It's a good way to be able to justify. And I know that's easier said than done, but to Dave's point, as the market cools on the real estate side, 3% down, 5% down mortgages will be looked at again. You won't have to go in as a cash buyer. You can go in with lower down payment. But over the grand 10, 15, 20-year period of time, owning a home is a phenomenal investment.
Let me know if I can help. Give me a call, 402-881-5951. Shoot me a text. Just make sure that you put your name on there and the best way to reach you, whether it's via text or email. And we'll talk to you guys soon.
David Olson, NMLS 16099. Don Zoller, NMLS 277589. Pivot Lending, NMLS 109995.
We return you now to your regularly scheduled program.
Dude,
1 second, I'm almost done.
I think this body's actually painted.
Painted? Yeah, they used to paint those.
Yeah.
The ready-to-run bodies, they should paint them at the factory.
I think I need to, I think if I take all these stickers off, it'll be white and red. I could put some Hobbyplex stickers on it. I wouldn't even have to worry about repainting it.
Yeah, it'd be perfect.
It's even got a hole for a transponder on the front. Look at that right there.
You're on a personal?
Oh, I'm going to run my personal. Did you see I fixed a personal transponder last night?
I did. I was really impressed, actually.
I watched Jason Snyder's video on how to do it. And pretty much just copied what he did, and I wired it up and soldered it together, and I plugged it in, and flashing red lights. So I'm like, freaking cool. So I'm going to put that in my Mini, and I'm going to take the transponder that's in my Mini right now, and that'll probably be the transponder for the Truggy, I'm thinking.
I need to check out that video because I have like 5 that don't work.
Doesn't that stink?
Mm-hmm.
Because you're like, man. But he's right.
$500 sitting right
He's
there.
right, though. You basically have nothing to lose. So,
Right.
you know, and it wasn't that difficult. The hardest part was getting the, just getting the red case off more than anything. So
That's what I was always kind of worried about. So did you cut it off in a way that you can glue it back on?
kind of. So I took an X-Acto blade right along the seam, and I cut it, and then you can basically use your X-Acto knife to get underneath of there. I had two. I had a really sharp X-Acto knife and a non-sharp kind of broken X-Acto knife. So I used the sharp one to actually cut it, and then I used the non-sharp one to kind of wedge the X-Acto blade underneath of it and pop it out. And then that black stuff that's in the front of it, you do have to rub that off, like use the Dremel to rub that away. I actually used a heat gun first, and some of it came off with the heat gun. So I don't know. It's kind of cool. I wish I wouldn't have sent one of my transponders off to get fixed that never got fixed, and my $30 never got back to me.
Yeah.
That was several years ago. I'm not going to say who it was.
Years?
Yeah.
Why not? You should.
Yeah, it's fine. Okay, it's $30. I mean, $30 is $30, but it's just $30. It's not a big deal.
Hopefully they're not ripping off anybody else.
Yeah, I hope not. I don't think. Either it got lost in the mail or it got forgotten about. I wasn't going to make a big hairy deal out of it. The only thing that sucked was it was one of my cool numbers. It was like 4422666, I think.
Yeah. Maybe hit the guy up.
Yeah, maybe. Yeah, it's okay. All right, let's go through the comments real fast because my sister wants us out of here by 8. So they got there's a podcast coming up. Richard, is it the Widows?
It's the Hot Widows Club.
The Hot Widows Club.
What? Are they actually widows that happen to be hot?
Yes, they are.
Yeah, they are.
So it's
actually
not just a clever name.
Yeah, it's not just a clever name. Yeah, exactly. I admit they were here on a couple Mondays, and they're not here yet, are they?
Not yet.
Okay. A couple Mondays ago, and they had gotten done, and it was our turn, and I said something that I thought was funny, but I don't know if they thought it. I didn't think that was.
What would you say?
I didn't think they thought it was funny, and I don't think my sister thought that I was funny either. And so
what would you say?
I don't even remember. I just remember going, I thought that was a funny thing to say. I guess not.
You're like, so all your husbands are dead, huh?
No.
and they're like, yes. You're like, so you're available?
Oh, I wouldn't say that. That's going too far.
Well, that's what I thought you would have said. I'm not saying that's what I would say. I'm just saying what I thought you would say.
Yeah, no. I can't remember what it was, but it must not have been that
like
funny. Must not have been that funny because I don't remember what it was.
Well, with our like dark sense of humor.
I know.
You know, like where you're like, yeah, my mom's dead.
Yeah. I tried that the other day. Dude, I tried that the other day at the Cubbies up the street because this girl, the girl that was bringing me up kept going on and on and on about how one of her family members like just walked out without saying hi to her. And she wouldn't shut up. And she was going on for like 2 or 3 minutes. And I just looked at her and I go, well, my mom's dead. So you always got that. And nothing. It was just, and the girl, the other girl that was behind her, like gave her this stare with all, she went like this, like wide eyes, like right in front of me. Like I can't read your lips. Like I know.
What'd she say? I wasn't looking.
She was like, I was like, I know what you're saying. And I went, yeah, sorry. I was like, I thought that was a funny thing to say. And she's like, I am so sorry. I'm like, no, don't be sorry. Otherwise I wouldn't have brought it up. It's fine. It's just, you wouldn't shut up about your like third cousin going out the door without saying hi to you.
Yeah.
You should be happy that you have a third cousin that doesn't say hi to you. That's still alive. That's all. That was the point of my joke.
Funny.
Yeah, I thought it was funny. Apparently they didn't. I guarantee they remember me now, though, the next time I walk in.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Jason Haley's first comment on here is you need to test one on a banana first. And I don't remember what we were talking about.
Oh,
was it the glue things? Oh, there you
maybe.
go. Yeah, you need to test your rubber on a banana first.
Oh, nice.
That's a
yeah,
good
that's
joke.
how. Yeah,
That's a good joke. Yeah, we know Spencer Rivkin made a video on it. Jackson also says that Will should shave the bars and get some aviators.
No.
Yeah. Oh.
Maybe.
I do have a question for later, and I'll hear it when the podcast hits the RSS feed. I think next year I'll be giving up 8 scale for 5th scale. Besides the TBRL, is there any 5th scale racing in the region? I honestly don't know of any. There's the big one that they do at the Horizon race, right?
Who acts that?
Zaire. Sorry.
Oh.
Zaire.
Yeah. Okay.
But other than TBRL, did they even race this year? I don't even think he raced this year.
I couldn't tell you.
I haven't seen anything.
No idea.
And like I said, I think the only other 5th scale races that I know of are that one weekend that they do it at the big Horizon thing.
Yeah, that, and then Silver State has a class for it, but they race on a different track.
Yeah.
So
that'd be kind of cool. That'd be cool to go to.
It would be. I'd like to build a big old Hagen 2-stroke motor for one of those,
dude.
But just like do it in a way that it's like these are all stock parts. These are like if you took off the intake manifold, it'd look stock. But you just run it and it runs faster and everything else. Like I know how I do it.
I got to find this video again, but I watched on YouTube a while ago. It's been a while since I found it, but there was a big indoor track in Canada that ran 5th scales, at least a couple of years ago. And it was one of the coolest things I had seen. Cause a lot of times at these tracks that I see with the big 5th scales, the big outdoor ones, like a lot of times their jumps don't quite work.
Yeah.
Like I think they should,
Mm-hmm.
or they're flat out dangerous.
Yeah.
And, this one in Canada was cool. It was actually like good. I got to find that video again. If I find it, I'll try to link it up on our Facebook page.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, sorry, Joe. I honestly don't. I don't know where else to go for that other than your big Astro track in the summer.
I'm surprised Fastlane doesn't try to do it.
Yeah.
Places like outside like that,
Yeah.
But I
they
do.
Probably could. They probably could run it on the same track. It's just those things. Well,
they really dig out the jumps and stuff.
The Losi one doesn't near as bad.
Doesn't?
Now the 5B did badly because I remember when we ran it, when we had the big outdoor track in the old spot, that we tried to run 5Bs out there, and boy, you'd be able to jump, and by the end of the day, there'd be this giant gaping hole in it from the noses. But the Losis don't really do that. So.
Yeah.
Chris Hardison, I haven't heard from him in a little while. How's the no prep scene going? Since moving down to Oklahoma, I now race with the Tulsa guys. Learned much and already gotten pretty quick. I imagine so. I'm pretty bummed out that I did not get to race any drag racing this year anywhere. I got my DR10M, and I did do a couple passes out by the Holiday Bright Lights parking lot, their back parking lot, where it's actually flat and smooth. And it went straight, and it went much faster than my old car did, but I haven't actually gone to any races yet because they were rotating them Saturdays and Sundays. And last year, my Sundays off coincided with a bunch of them, so I could go. But this year, none of the Sundays coincided with Sundays that I had off, and I can't get Saturdays off. Like, that's just not going to happen.
You're right.
So I'm pretty bummed out. But locally, I mean, they're still going strong here. And of course, you got 5 Stars is here, so they did move to their new place. They have a much shorter runoff, and I have yet to tackle that to even see. I know I would have to turn up my brakes in my car a lot. But those guys have been going. Bob Hamilton's been doing great. Marnie, his wife's been doing really good. They just went to that redemption race in Topeka. I didn't see how they did, but yeah, locally it's still fine. There's kind of a split group that doesn't go there though, that are doing it. They had this place that had an awning. So it was like a loading dock, like a big giant warehouse with a loading dock, and it had a big awning that came over it. So you could go there rain or shine.
Mm-hmm.
And they were doing that on, I believe, certain Saturdays. And then I saw a post that said something to the effect of going to miss this place. So I'm guessing they probably got told they can't do that anymore there. Because it's private property.
That sucks.
Yeah.
I think it'd be cool if they. I told Bob this, and maybe some of the other drag guys that are listening would think this is cool too. I think that if somebody did it and like during the winter, rented like an air hanger and had a giant money to win drag race in an air hanger, like here in the Midwest, you'd get like a ton of people to go to that.
Yeah, that would be really cool.
It would be.
That would be sick.
I have no idea what that would cost to do or anything. I just thought it'd be cool.
Yeah,
because you see, like there's an off season for it. You know, it'd be neat if they had one big blowout in January or February or something around here. And I think a lot of people would come in for it if it was indoor, and you know what I mean.
Yeah, that would. That's a good idea. It's finding the hanger that would be available.
It's that and having somebody run it.
Right.
You know.
Trevor Paul just dropped $5 to the pot, and he says for the Alex and Will race, the pot needs to get to $69 in honor of the Hot Widows. That's pretty funny. That's really funny.
Is it $69 now?
It's $61. $61.
Somebody give us $8.
Dude, we still got next week. We still got next week to pimp it out too. So
yeah.
All right, let's move back up because we're cutting in now. We're getting close. Can we practice Wednesday if we sit on the dirt side? John Haas, yes. I don't see any reason why the dirt track would be closed this week at all. There's no Tuesday night racing because Tim doesn't want to get anything on the carpet before the TCS race. But I'm sure you guys can do what we always do.
Yeah.
Nick Petrick was on here. They wanted to know what the penalty that Caden got in the junior while he was leading. He actually got second, not third.
Really?
John Haas said he got third, but it was second. Being right after pit lane, maybe Mike threw his car like he usually does once it's full, and maybe that's illegal there. Yeah, I gotta get the word on that. I'm gonna send Mike a message, and maybe I'll be able to find out for the next one. For the next podcast, we can talk about it.
Yeah, I'm dying to know.
Demonic Wolf 69, which I'm pretty sure is Logan.
Yeah,
isn't that Logan?
I don't know.
It's either Logan or Chris. I can never remember the two, but I'm pretty sure that's Logan. I've come to hate 10th scale.
Who said that? Why?
Demonic says that.
Love 10 scale.
Probably run it since most of the 8 scale tracks have shut down, and it's an 8-hour drive one way to go to like fast lane. So, yeah, I mean, to each their own.
8-hour drive one way
to go race 8 scale somewhere. Organized, like Kansas City. It's 3 hours away, so it should be 6 hours each way.
Yeah,
or 6 hours one way, or whatever it is. I don't know. We just got. Renault just dropped 5, so now we're up to $66.
What's the Peter's prediction?
He didn't put a prediction. He just dropped 5. So
we need predictions, Peter.
Oh yeah, okay. That's Chris Nelson. I knew it was either Chris Nelson or Logan. I couldn't remember if it was one of the two.
Okay. Nice.
But he's from Sioux Falls, so
okay.
That I kind of understand.
Yeah.
So if he's got Kansas City, which would be actually that's about right. It's about 8 hours away. Or there's there's Foley. He could go to Van Dalen's track and race that Nitro series.
FTR is a great track.
Yeah.
I really enjoyed that.
Yeah, we'll try to find a place for you to run 8 scale next summer.
Mm-hmm.
Izzy and Lily have been racing both as well on Fridays. Don't see any of the Plex people needing to be kicked out of yet. That's Steve RC, and he races Plex spec, so he's not worried about it.
Mm-hmm.
Anthony Santee says stock slash is way too much fun. Everybody needs to have a slash. I agree.
Yeah.
Steve Wall says after last Friday, I will be getting a stock slash soon. That looked awesome. That's great because there's some of these guys that I would love to slam into.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not saying Steve's one of them, but the more the merrier. Peter Renault helped with his track build yesterday. Final points race this Sunday, and then a 3-day Memorial race weekend after that, and then his season is over. Special guest next week. I don't know, man. I'm the guest stuff. I really suck at that. I've had some ideas for a while, and
I can try and arrange somebody.
I haven't gotten around to it. I want to get Scotty Ernst on here.
Yeah, that'd be cool.
I think he'd be a good one to talk to.
It would be. We should try and get. I want to try and get Jason on.
Yeah, well, he said he would. We just got to arrange the time period. He's such a busy dude because he's got races every week.
Well, he's coming back from the World, so he's probably got some downtime.
Yeah, hopefully.
I'll see if I can set it up.
Okay. All right, here's a legit question. It's 8:03. So, what tires do you think would be the ticket for 8 scale this winter? Same old or something different? Since the track's been able to run slicks. So with the cold, I think things change a little bit. But if you really look at everybody's tires at the end of the mains, I mean, they're pretty similar to Baldy's. Yeah. But the track is a different kind of track. It's a lot drier, and the groove is way more pronounced. So
it's like the tread on your tires just makes it so the groove's wider. And then once they go to slicks, you still have the same amount of grip, if not more, but the groove is just really narrow.
Yeah.
So
I would say golds are still good. They better be because I have like 80 pairs of gold ellipses in stock right now. I've been stocking up.
I think they will be.
I've had some hot race clay compound tires in stock, and we're good on Scribbles. And we're good on Positron. So right now we're sitting pretty good. I do have to order fuel next. We got to make sure
we're all stocked up for your favorite flavor. You know?
Yep. Trevor Paul says he doesn't think the TBRL is even racing currently. City shut down the track looking for a new spot. Wow. I didn't know.
Too bad.
I didn't know that. That was cool how he used the big bank. I thought that was really neat.
Yeah.
Then he says, it's like the same motor as my son's Yamaha PW50.
Oh, nice.
Wisconsin, here's another one chiming in on that fifth scale. Wisconsin's CCX is the only fifth scale track. Oh, we got a couple more. Oh, look at this. Okay. Steve RC said they could rent out the SAC Museum. I was actually thinking about that myself because the Omahawks have a wintertime free fly where they take over one of the big things at the SAC Museum. So
that's pretty cool.
Yeah, I thought about that. Jackson, maybe detox silvers. Well, I actually got us silver rehabs and detoxes in case somebody wanted to try those. So it's in the realm of possibility. Jackson super chatted $1 and then $2 to get us to $69.
Nice.
So currently
pick?
We are no picks. We are currently at $69 for the pot.
Nice.
That's a lot of money.
Yeah, it's almost 70.
Yeah. Shit. Might have to actually try.
Yeah.
I was gonna try anyways.
You were?
Yeah. Oh yeah, I was totally gonna try. All right, that's it. That's we better go. It's 8:06. Okay. We promised we'd be out of here tonight at a reasonable time. So I got a mini to go mess with. See if I can get this thing running. Yeah, I'm excited. Got another new little thing. So there you go. Okay, one more. Jackson says my pick is that Alex will be winning, then blow out, and will take the win.
Maybe. Who knows?
Yep. So there you go.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, for real, we better go. This show is always brought to you by Pivot Lending Group. You can find them at pivotlending.com. Mention our show to Don Zoller or Aiden Olson's dad and receive a 0.125 off your interest rate or $500 lender credit towards a home loan or refinance. And that's about it. So next week I'll probably talk about the TCS race, and it's probably about it. There's not really anything going on next weekend that I can think of.
Getting ready for that Summer Series finals.
Yep, exactly. So next week will just be us trying to get the pot bigger.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So tell your friends.
Tell your
give
friends.
us some money.
Yeah. Yep. And yeah, that's about it. There's that's it. We better go.
All right.
Cool.
Yep. See you guys.
Yep. Thanks for tuning in.
Yeah.
Bye.
See ya.